Hello and welcome to the Fit for Life podcast with your host, Alan Fitton. In this podcast, I will be covering fitness-related subjects and my experiences to do with nutrition, building muscle and weight loss to name a few, and how, above all, to keep fit for life. Hello and welcome back to episode 3 of my podcast, Fit for Life. I'm your host, Alan Fitton. This is the first time that we're on camera as well as using the microphone. And yeah, welcome back. Thank you for all the positivity that I've had lately. I do know my last one was the first one back. The one previous was out during Feb time. Get a very good positivity reaction from that, but obviously quite a bit of distance between A from B, as I did cover in the previous one. So thank you for the previous positive feedback from the previous one that we did. I do appreciate that. And today's podcast topic is going to be concerning why should we be weight training? Why should you weight training? Why should you go to the gym and pick up weights? Why is it important? How does it benefit you? How should you incorporate that into a routine? How long should you be doing it for? What age should we be starting? What age should we be finishing? We're going to be covering all of this. So first of all, a little bit. Obviously, I relate an awful lot of these things in regards to myself. I have some life experience. I'm not by far like superior or knowing or like a fountain full of knowledge at all. But I have some experience and some knowledge that I share on these podcasts, and to hope that you learn from, and I hope it gives you some type of value. So I've been weight training for approximately 10 years. Why did I originally get into weight training? First of all, amongst anything, I lost a whole load of weight. As I covered on the first one, I lost 7 stone. So I was pretty much skin and bone. Okay. So, I didn't have a lot of shape to my physique. I didn't have any shape at all. And I had a few friends that I worked with that did weight training. And I always aspired to have shape to my physique and to look better. And to actually look in the mirror and to feel happy and to have clothes fit me well and nicely. So as I detailed in the first podcast, a few friends that I worked with kind of gave me an introduction to the gym. I got a very close friend from it that took me under his wing and started me weight training with him. And within 12 months, I saw quite a big dramatic change to my physique. I started to get biceps. I'm a very bicep-prone individual. For some reason, the only thing that grows on me faster than anything else is bicep central, which a lot of guys are jealous of, but for me, I think it makes my arms look quite unproportional. It's definitely in a bodybuilding aspect, because I'm very interested about, I like bodybuilding, and I think it makes my shoulders look quite small because my biceps take over quite a lot. But anyway, I'm digressing here. So within 12 months, I saw a lot of changes to my physique. I started to grow a bit. My delts got a bit bigger. Any natural guys know that growing delts is bloody hard work. My biceps got bigger. I got shape to my legs, to my chest, to my back, like muscle I'd never seen before. And this started to mean that I started to fill out t-shirts, that I started to, like when I had wearing a t-shirt, it wasn't baggy on the arms. It filled out the arms a little. And it gave me a bit of shape to my physique. And that then gave me confidence. So from being very overweight to hating clothes being fitted to me and wanted to wear everything baggy, to then becoming really skinny to where everything just fell off me anyway because I was so darn skinny, to then building a bit of muscle on me, that then gave me confidence. I liked the way I looked. I liked the way clothes fit me. And then I also felt stronger too. So within doing weight training, through doing big compound movements like squats, deadlifts, overhead presses and pull-ups and such forth like that, gave me strength to, do everyday tasks like mowing the lawn. When I mate was moving house, I could help out a little bit more than what I would have been able to do previously, carrying shopping, doing little everyday tasks. They made these little things a lot easier than what it ever has been, because I'd never really had much strength before. So that's what got me into weight training. And that gave me then confidence in my physique, because at the end of the day, if you want to have shape to your physique, you've got to build muscle. It's the one given rule. But then also within that, there's more positives that come beyond that I'll speak, more about down the line. So as I said, I've been weight training for a good 10 years. I've had a few injuries along the way. I've spoken about it on the previous one, about my herniated disc that I told you about. I've got a bicep tear on this arm at the moment. But regardless of that, as long as you practice, good form, safe lifting, and all the above, then you are going to have a good long career and life of weight training. And yeah, I recommend it to anyone. So first of all, I think a given for me, weight training in a retrospect, let's look at how the body responds to it. So what is weight training? What happens? So when we weight train, obviously we pick weight up, and what happens? It breaks down muscle. When we go to the gym, or when you lift something really heavy and you find it really difficult and you either can or can't lift it, what's happening is you're causing micro tears in your muscle. So whenever you go to the gym, you're doing like 10 or 15 reps, 3 sets of. Each set you feel a bit of a burning sensation, and you get towards 15 reps, you can't do any more. And when you're lifting that weight and contracting the muscle, you're causing lots of small micro tears in the muscle, and it's breaking down. So actually in the gym, you're causing damage to your body. Yeah? Then when you get home from the gym is when we recover and grow, because we get home, we're going to eat well. Nutrition's a complete different ball game that we'll talk about in another podcast, but another episode, sorry. We get home, we eat well. Protein-based foods tends to be a good amount of carbohydrates too, and then we also sleep, and that's when we recover. So when we put our head on the pillow, get a good 7 to 8 hours sleep, rest, a day off the gym, preferably afterwards, that's when you grow, because you've been in the gym, you've been causing the damage, you're getting home, you're fueling up with lots of food to help the body to recover, sleeping, again, helping the body to recover, getting up, and then onto the next day. And that's pretty much how weight training works. And I think the biggest thing for me is that when we weight train, we get stronger. And that is a positive reaction from doing that exercise. So from going to the gym, from lifting weights, we get that the body has a positive outcome to doing that desired exercise. We build muscle, we get stronger, which is a positive result of doing the exercise, isn't it? So I think that from the get-go, I look at things quite simply, and I think, looking at it in that way shows that from doing that exercise, the body responds well to it. So it's something that we should be doing. It's something that the body rewards. It gives us more strength, it gives us more muscle, and that's not a lot of people want a lot of muscle. Females specifically are always like, I don't want to get bulky, but isn't really possible. To get bulky like females think is possible takes either a lot of bloody time, a lot of strict training and diet, or injecting certain substances like illegal steroids and stuff like that. But that's a complete different subject that I'll get into further down the line. So anyway, going back to where I was, the body responds positively to weight training. We get stronger, we build muscle, and give you shape and definition to your physique. And not only that, but it boosts your metabolic rate too. So if let's say, example, you're 18 years old, right? You've never weight trained in your life. You have a certain degree of muscle on the body, what you have and what you need to survive, okay? If you, for a year from being 18, start a weightlifting routine and start gymming it 3 to 4 days of the week, eating pretty well, resting well, a year's time, you could be a stone heavier. Having a stone, I'm not being specific here, but you could have a stone more muscle mass on your body. And now, the calories you may have needed when you were 18 to maintain that body shape could be, let's say, for argument's sake, 2,200 calories to maintain your weight. This is going to be a guy we're talking about here. After 12 months of putting a stone on, that next year, you would probably need more likely between 2,300 to 2,400 calories to maintain the muscle you've built. So from putting muscle on means we have to eat more to maintain the muscle, which therefore means it increases our metabolic rate. So therefore we can eat more. Quite possibly one of the biggest positives there is. Who does not want to eat more food? Who does not want to have an additional Krispy Kreme a day? Who doesn't want an extra portion of chips? Who doesn't want to have more food to fuel the body with? I don't know anyone. And this to me I think is quite a good positive thing. And when I first started doing my PT in qual, they always said kids under the age of 16, well, if you're under 16, you are a kid. But at the age of 16, you shouldn't be doing weight training because you can stunt your growth. And that myth has been completely abolished now, completely rubbish. And we can weight train from any age as long as it's done safe, with good form, with good technique, and lifting principles are applied, and obviously working within RPEs, being safe is the biggest things. But we can start weight training from any age. The body is clever; it adapts and it gets stronger and it grows from resistance training. It's a massive tick to the box. So as I was saying, increase our metabolic rate so we can eat more. So that's why a lot of PTs, that when you sign up with a PT, will majority get people weight training, because through weight training itself won't only give people the body shape and definition that they want, but it will also increase the metabolic rate. So if you've got weight to lose and you're building muscle at the same time, you can actually, it's not impossible, but you can actually lose weight and put muscle on at the same time. And it's kind of like a fine line you can get with clients, and I do it with an awful lot of clients of mine. When I get them to a specific calorie goal, and we get dialing down and getting pretty lean, and then I get them to a level where they're in a calorie deficit, where their stubborn areas where they hold fat, which tends to be the hips and the waist. The hips and the waist are losing centimeters, but the arms, the shoulders, the chest, the back, and the thighs, the measurements are increasing while the hips and waist are decreasing, which thus far means that we are actually building muscle while also losing weight, which is, a very hard thing to grasp. Your calories and your exercise output have to be on point to get that to get that result. It's not easy to achieve that, but I achieve that with genuinely all of my clients. It's a hard thing to achieve, don't get me wrong, but it is possible, and it's getting that perfect kind of line between building muscle, being in enough of a deficit to be losing the stubborn body fat from areas, improving our metabolic rate, and building over time. I think it's fucking amazing. Pardon my French, but I really do, and that's what I like to achieve with majority of my clients. But anyway, going back to what I was saying, that is for me, that's why a lot of PTs will push weight training onto the clients, because getting that level, and that's what a majority of people want. I have never had a client come to me and say that they don't want to look toned and defined. And there's no difference between toning and defining and building muscle. There's a big kind of stigma out there that says toning and defining, building muscle, two different things. They are not. Building muscle is building muscle. Toning and defining is building muscle. Building muscle is building muscle. There's no difference between the two. Higher, lower rep ranges, no difference either. It all comes down to how fast you're fatiguing the body. So if you go a lot heavier than what you can usually lift, you're going to fatigue a lot sooner. If you go lighter, it's going to take more reps to fatigue you the same amount as what it would do if you went heavier. That's all that's happening. So whether it takes you between 15 to 30 reps to fatigue because you're going lighter, or it takes you between 8 to 15 reps to fatigue because you're going heavier, there's no freaking difference. The biggest thing that matter is technique and form and time under tension. They're the most important factors. As long as we're lifting safely with good technique, we're going to build muscle and improve over time. So yeah, that's what the majority of people should be pushing, the clients to do, or what you should be following. That's my train of thought there. What you should be following yourself. Doesn't matter. As I was saying, turn defining, building muscle, exactly the same thing. So that's a stigma that's out there that is complete BS, and you see it kind of all over Instagram, all over Facebook, and all of that jargon around there. So more positives of obviously weight training being it makes you stronger. So as I said before, to the reason when I got into weight training, got into doing it myself, I noticed my strength increases. Kind of irons out imbalances. Some people have like a left arm stronger than a right arm stronger than left arm, one leg stronger than the other. And through doing weight training, will kind of destroy these imbalances. Posture. A lot of people, because now, especially in today's day and age, what we're doing here, we're down on our phone all the time. We're sat on our laptops like this all the time. So weight training, again, strengthens all the muscles in our body to give us stronger posture. Strengthens the hundreds of muscles at the back of our shoulders. So we keep our shoulders up, back, and down to stand taller with a better posture. Strengthens our lower back, our hips, our glutes. So we can stand taller, and when our posture is much better as well. Again, weight training improves the posture. You see, there's an awful lot of positives to weight training here. And I'm barely touching the surface, and I'm already probably a good solid, 14, 15 minutes in possibly here. And that's why weight training should be a part of anyone's exercise routine. It shouldn't be the only thing that we do. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that weight training should be the only thing that you do for the rest of your life. There's different forms of it out there. There's obviously there's Olympic weightlifting, there's CrossFit, there's strongman. There's loads of different variants of weight training, but some are very extreme. I like to personally stay very much hypertrophy work because higher rep ranges I think are safer and benefits the majority of people, and is, as I said, safer for people to perform, if I'm honest. But there's different forms of it out there for different people depending on what your passion is. But weight training should be part of anyone's routine. It doesn't matter if you're 40, 50, 60, 70. As we get older, it gets more and more important, because as we get older, the old saying of if you don't use it, you lose it is completely true. As we start hitting our middle to late 30s, muscle degeneration can happen if we're inactive. And sadly, as we get older, we do get more and more inactive. We start doing less. It's easier, as I said a minute ago, with the posture thing. We're always sat down on our asses now, on our phones, on our laptops, on our computers, watching TV. We get takeaways ordered to our doors. It's much easier for us now to sit on our asses and do sweet FA. So as we get older, it increases the likelihood of us sitting on our asses a lot more and doing a lot less. So when we're not using the muscles in the body, they're going to start to break down and deteriorate. So that's why as we get older, it's even more important that we continue to weight train and move, because it helps us keep on to our muscle mass, our bone density, our coordination, our, helps us strengthen maintain a good posture. All these things are really important, especially as we get older, as the years go on. So that's why incorporating a weightlifting routine 1, 2, 3 days a week, every week for the rest of your life is so damn important. And as we get older, it gets even more important, because the likelihood of osteoporosis and all these other things that could potentially kick in, you through doing that little bit of weight training that you do is kind of shunting off the possibility that happen. And again, it keeps you strong and it keeps you well and moving in a healthy fit way as we get older. And that's so darn important. So, great if you love running, great if you love rowing or cycling or playing badminton or tennis or whatever sports that you love, freaking fantastic. But don't just home in on one specific thing. Have a basis of everything. Do 1 to 2 weight training sessions a week. Do yoga once a week. Do your cardio, badminton or tennis or running, whatever it is, 2 or 3 times a week. But make sure that you're ticking all the boxes together, because as I said, weight training has such a positive effect. And some of the things that I've talked about in this podcast here, that can make your day-to-day life easier. It just gives you so much value. And there's so many people out there that have never done it, that have just gone to gyms, done classes their whole lives, because they're also caught up about losing weight, and they think classes are the right way to lose weight, when in actual fact, they just fucked the classes off and got on the gym floor and lifted some weights. They'll not only give themselves tone and definition, they'll also increase their metabolic rates. They can move more, look better, feel better. And, I think that stuff is completely invaluable. I've not even covered like the mental, the mindset side of it. As I said, for the reasons why I got into it, fitting out a t-shirt, making your legs look a bit beefier, giving your body shape and tone definition to give you more confidence, to make you feel proud, to make you feel confident, to make you feel happy within yourself. That's the most important thing. The most important thing of all is that you look in the mirror and you feel good, and to you look good. I think that's something that I have to say there. It doesn't matter if anyone else thinks you fucking look good. All that matters is that you look in the mirror and you're happy with the way that you look. You look good, you feel good, and you're happy. Mental health is just as important as physical health. And obviously there are extremes within that. I spoke earlier, I'm very much into like bodybuilding, and I've done a bodybuilding show and stuff in the past that I'll cover in another podcast. But again, that is an extreme of weight training. That's an extreme of dieting down to a sub 10% body fat percentage to get lean to be on stage. But again, that's an extreme version of it for a sport. Again, I'll save that for another podcast, another chat here. But yeah, so my challenge and my question to you really is, are you weight training? Have you thought about it? What is stopping you from doing it? Are you scared? Have you had a PT before? If you've never had a PT before, maybe it's a good idea to go to your local gym and be like, I'm going to get a session with a PT once a week to give me knowledge, confidence, and education that I need to lift weights effectively. You don't have to go for a PT forever. You can go to a gym and sign up with 5 sessions for a PT just to get confidence of being on the gym floor, to be shown how to lift weights safely in a specific setting, to give you the confidence that you then have to then continue with it on your own. An online coach, like for me, example, harmful plug at Coachedbyalan. I give my clients online the tools that they need to get a structured weightlifting routine that fits into their lifestyle, nutritional coaching and guidance, and then I'm their weekly kick up the arse to say, well, if you're not doing everything I ask you to do, why the fuck not? That's what the check-ins are for, to make sure that we're making progress, they're getting stronger on the gym floor and getting to their goal from A to B. And that's what the most important thing is. People want to build results, get stronger, feel fitter, feel happier. And weight training is a massive part of that. And it's what people need to obviously prioritize and work on massively. And that's what I help people doing. So, as I said, if you yourself don't feel like you have the confidence, book a session in with a PT. Take yourself out of your comfort zone. Grab a friend. If your friend that goes to classes, say to them, let's try going out on the gym floor for once. I'm fed up with the class and not seeing the results that I want. Weight training is and should be a big part of anyone's lifestyle and should be for the rest of your life. Obviously being safe with it, obviously doing things in a controlled manner, obviously not being too far left wing as the fact that's the only thing that you do, or you do too much of that thing. Again, everything still comes down to balance. But as a general rule of thumb here, as an open conversation about weight training to the reasons why you should be doing it, I've listed an awful lot of positives here. And I guarantee for the majority of you listening to this podcast, if you haven't already weight trained, and if you take anything from this, go and get it done. Try a session, book in with a PT, go with a friend, just do a little something. You'll be sore from it, don't get me wrong. The first week, you will get sore. And there's a thing called DOMS as well, delayed onset muscle soreness, that sometimes it will not come and say hello, as in soreness, for 24 to 48 hours, but it will come up and say hello. And you will find that, within, a short period of time, you'll get stronger and your body shape will change astronomically, especially if you've never weight trained before. Your first 12 months is when you get the most amount of muscular strength and growth for anyone that's never weight trained before. And you will see results quickly, and that for me then is your direct motivation to make you keep on pushing harder. And then obviously from that 12 months, things slow down a little bit year on year. But I don't want to go that much in depth into weight training. That can be the podcast in the future when I talk more about hypertrophy and types of weight training and things. This is a general casual conversation to talk about why you should be weight training if you're not already. How much it will give you positivity, benefit you, change your body shape, tick a whole lot of boxes for you. And as I said, if you don't take anything from this, it will be, that Alan made me go and do a session today. I really enjoyed it, and it gets you into the routine. And I promise you, it is worth it. So as I said, online coaching, if you're requiring someone to give you knowledge and guidance and A to B to get you to where you want to be, at Coachedbyalan all over Instagram. That's what I tend to be. But I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please do subscribe to my podcast. It very much helps me a lot. This will be going live on my YouTube channel. This will be the first of my many weekly installments. So if you have any topics you'd like me to cover in future podcasts, any questions you have, anything, chuck them down below. My email address is alanfittonpt@icloud.com. Send your questions there, or go to my Instagram at Coachedbyalan. I'll plug it one more time. With further questions, give me a follow, or vice versa. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll be catching you for the next one next week, and I'll catch you guys very soon. You take it easy.